Yes, correct.
And that is going to not exactly pose a problem, I would say, because their T side against Red Canids was more than adequate. And their T side, what we got to see of it on Nuke, was
I expect this offense to be very capable because of that. We are into the action, ladies and gentlemen. Pistol round live. Made in Brazil. One set of utility for exit. And double dualies, no kit once more for the Young Sharks on the defense. Spot towards middle from DRG. He's forced away. No kills in either direction. The dualies on B, though, fare far worse. And rdnzao back towards white. Can't do anything either. He's tagged down. He's bagged. The B site cracks open. The 2-man advantage secured. A flyby from DRG to get back in, though. He finds one. He finds two. He's on the site looking for more. Burnson does get one, but Doc finds yet another. 2 versus 2. Young Sharks finding a way into it. The dualies drop Insani. The last alive is Exit. He'll find one, and he'll fall back. The dualies up close are a very scary proposition. Exit has to buy a lot of time, and on the fadeaway, he will get the headshot with the Glock. Made in Brazil, that round nearly slips through their fingers, but they do recover by virtue of a double from Exit.
a big double from Exit. You said the dualies are scary up close and personal. The same could be said for the Glock. The Glock seems more strong in CS2 than it did at the end of Go. And we got to see Exit get some nice headshots with it at the end there. Galils and AK for MIBR. USPs and a P2000 for Togs. All that Young Sharks have to work with. MIBR. A very easy opportunity for that 2-0 start. And then even just looking at the Vertigo record for Young Sharks, it's 3-3 with a -4 round differential, a 47.7 CT rate at a 50% T rate. Now, how different is this going to be from CSGO for Young Sharks? I don't know. We saw a great swap for MIBR. But then again, MIBR hasn't really put it in a while. They definitely worked on the map and had a game plan for it. That's a nice little flashbang down the ramp, though. Doc will get the opener onto safe. Insani, in the meantime, lurking up B, might just call for the rotation. Doesn't clear out Dogs, and does so clean. And that's going to signal the rotation back from Young Sharks, too, and since they're on pistols, MIBR is a little late to the party.
They're a little bit slower, but they still make their crossing with measured aggression. 3 more for Insani. He's on for the ace. Last one standing, caught by Exit instead. No ace for Insani, but a second round for the team. They stem the bleeding. They only lose 1 weapon on safe. That is a solid round, all things considered, especially with the bomb hitting dirt. Young Sharks saved that one, so they could buy in this one. Full A1Ss, okay utility. No kit on the defense. That might spell trouble if Made in Brazil get site control in round number 3.
And on a map like Vertigo, which is kind of a retake simulator in CS2 or CSGO, it does not bode well for the chances of Young Sharks unless they can win by elimination. Default out for MIBR. Bolo back at Sandbags. 1 Ivy, 1 Sand. And Doc will peek here. He'll actually get the hooligan save. Nobody's able to bail him out. And Gafolo wins a dry fight against BRN. That is not a fantastic start. Quite the contrary. An opportunity now arising here for Young Sharks to strike back early. Insani goes down 2, and a mirrored start, perhaps, to what we saw on map number 1. Exit at the very least, bringing it back somewhat, but somewhat only lasts for a moment in time. A flash in the pan, and Drop will just do what damage he can before he meets his inevitable demise. Good amount of time to work with, but a 1v4 here would have to be a massive lack of judgment from Young Sharks to throw this one away.
War versus 1 will be massive. A first secured, a second spotted. Still 40 seconds, but Drop is paranoid about a flank. There's no such reality in effect. Still clear it, though. This one feels like he might even be saving. Looks like that's the case. He's making his exit. So it will be a first for the Young Sharks. Drop, though, will bring an AK into the following. He can also buy one if he wants to forego utility. Drop that over to exit. And it will still be a decent buy for Brazil going forward, but Young Sharks getting the ball rolling far earlier than they did on... Actually, no, did they win the third round? I can't recall. Regardless, they are at least starting things off a little bit better than they would otherwise.
A good start for Young Sharks, not quite ideal, but about the best case they could have asked for considering the early loss of the pistol round and the subsequent following that 2-0. Good response, only losing a couple of players is also great for that CT economy. Buy up again from MIBR, but they lack a lot of utility. They're going to have to do something fast here or something dry. And dry did not really work out well for them in the previous round. BRN takes the worst of that engagement. That nade following up does more. The counter nade on A does 6 damage. That is inconsequential.
On B, yeah. Excellent. Looks like A is going to be the walk again. Doc lurking down is caught by drop. That's a good start. This around the side hall player, not the one to come out on top. Gafolo far close this around, and he's been spotted. He's going to take the duel, and drop's going to drop him. 2 found now. They both go and answer. The player at the jump up might not be long for this hold either. Drop finds yet another. 2 versus 5 secured, and what were issues for Made in Brazil in the round prior are now 2 early picks to go unanswered. rdnzao, togs should be saving for the following, and that they are. Made in Brazil isolate that 1-round victory for the Young Sharks. They again extend their lead to 2 rounds.
It's a good response back from MIBR. Get back in the win column. Good individual plays from Drop, single-handedly winning the round. And the tenuous CT economy forces Young Sharks to save. The fact they don't get a single kill back also incentivizes that a 5-man hold is pretty hard to unseat. And the hunt will find nothing, presumably here. Yeah, nothing. So at least RDN and Togs can hold on to the rifles. But MIBR back in the win column, isolating that CT win. Always dangerous if you are on the CT side and you can't string things together. Force buy back, but a swing round here in the sense that Young Sharks are broke if they lose. MIBR would still have something, especially if they got a bomb plant.
Difficult spot. Potential for Made in Brazil to reset and get a 4th and probably a 5th off of it. Young Sharks' pressure is already mounting given that abysmal performance in map number 1. Made in Brazil changing their direction this time around. They're looking towards B. 4 players grouped up, and Sani taking point. There's only 1 player on site to worry about. He's at the back pillar, the back girders, I should say. rdnzao. Flash range over happens here. Oh, he's kind of stuck in the middle of no man's land. Molotov in front. No one found as of yet. Sani puts it up. What's the opening? He spots the player. He wants it, but he's distracted by it. It's a bait and switch. Togs gets one, but Drop finds rdnzao. Even trade. Drop is low on HP as well, so Sharks do have a bit of an advantage. Boost up towards A, looking towards side hall. Is it expected? We've seen this dismantled before. All onto Safe's intuition.
Gafolo on the boost can do so much damage. They don't check for it, and BRN gets mowed down. Man advantage returns to Young Sharks with Drop on 31 HP. Still the A play, only 2 players here, so MIBR could still open up. They need to get rid of the smoke. It'll do no damage. We'll see nothing on the cross. Still, though, bomb plant's going to be risky. Exit fakes it, tries to bait out a spam. Nerve. That is clutch from him. Yeah, they've got to stick it now, but Exit has a safe plan. Only 1v3 up ahead, though, and... Wait, the HUD's wrong. There's 2.
The HUD's wrong.
Yeah.
It's a 2v2.
It's No, is it a 2v1?
It's gotta be 2v1. It's
Where's
Togs
X?
alone.
Yeah, yeah.
And Exit has a commanding spot. This is over. No chance Togs expects the player coming in from elevator. Some HUD shenanigans. Losing us on this one. Exit, though, is the one to find the kill. 4-1 for Made in Brazil. And that does reset that economy. Worst case, I think we had a disconnect. That's the issue.
We did.
Exit got moved over.
We definitely did.
Yeah, that was the issue. Exit got moved over to Young Sharks on the HUD. Because, you know, if number 5 drops out, then number 6 becomes number 5. And it throws everything for a loop on the back end. So we're going to have a tech pause. Hopefully get that 5th Young Sharks player back into the server. Who are we missing?
Gafolo.
Do some quick math. It is Gafolo. Very unfortunate time for him to drop. I don't know if he was dead or not in the round. Might not have been.
I don't think he was at the point in time. I thought it was a 2v2. Or a 2v3 at the point in time, but could have been fooled by the HUD at an earlier stage. I was wondering where that extra kill came from. I didn't see one. I was kind of confused. And yeah, Exit did not swap teams, only on the HUD. Hopefully it's not too much longer for Sharks to get their man back in, their opper. We can hear some ticking from the chat coming through. But it's not very frantic, it's not very furious, it's very minimal. Very interesting here, Nate. There's that hydroponic for you again, too.
Hydroponic. Classic skin. Not the best wear, though, Bugs.
No, I think that's why I did the sticker scrapes.
Since match the theme.
Pretty nice, honestly. Works with the green gloves, too.
Yeah, like all the wears on the magazine, although the magazine does also look very clean, so. It's a whole aside, though. We're still waiting for the reconnect. Still some tech problems. Chat ticking away, which means they're conversing in the game room. You don't get to see that, though. None of the juicy details.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a while, though, so I think we are going to cut to the break here, folks. We should have the conclusion of map number 2 when we come back, so stick around and stay tuned. The rest of Vertigo coming up. Oh, no break, never mind. We are going to come back into game here relatively quickly. It sounded like it was going to be a bit longer earlier on. And now we should have Gafolo back in server pretty soon here. At least we hope so. Anytime now is the word from upstairs, and let's hope
upstairs
it isn't too much longer.
Is God speaking to you, Boggs?
There is the voice inside my head.
Oh, God. Don't implicate yourself. There he is.
There we go.
Returned. Gonna need a match medic. Oh, that's the wrong match medic. That's the right match medic. There we go. Money back to where it was. Guns as well in the right hands. I thought only 2 players survived, but it might have been 3 for Made in Brazil.
I also thought it was 2.
But I think the 3rd might have been on the other side of the scoreboard.
No, I only saw 1. It was only 2 players that lived. We saw the 1-2 punch with Exit playing behind and then drop back towards site.
That is fair. That is fair. 4-1 and a likely 5th as well. Some Kevlar, some pistols. Young Sharks, though, should not be able to hold a candle in this round. It should be a 5th for Made in Brazil, assuming they play as they have been throughout this series.
They just have to not lose to the pistols. The Deagle, the P250, the 5.7s, the USP with flashbangs. Easier said than done sometimes, especially on a close-range map like Vertigo, where CQC is so common. But at MIBR, our experience, they do know how to avoid losing to situations such as these. Doc up close behind that smoke. BRN has to be a bit careful. Gafolo might go hunting over top of that smoke. Safe is watching a couple different angles. It's going to be dependent on if he can flick up or not. He is able to convert that kill. Molotov to wood wall forces rdnzao away as well, as he was trying to play a cheeky angle for a pick. Nade will go deeper. That will land just about behind him, and he only takes 9 damage from that. Now MIBR congregate for the ramp play. Doc with 2, actually. 1, DRG with the other. This has been expensive already for MIBR, and they haven't even achieved a site plan yet.
No, they've not. Oh, that little shimmy on B, though, for rdnzao. Falling back for the Molotov, going forward for the nade. Keeps him at good health. The last 3 have made in Brazil, lurking up the ramp now. There's still one player here in DRG. He's found one with the deagle. He's looking for more. Towards headshots. This is the best spot you can play with a deagle, given the situation. Molotov might prove troublesome for him. BRN pushing forward. All 3 defenders here at this stage. Plant from drop will go down. BRN over the top finds rdnzao. DRG jumping up. A fadeaway on the first. Okay, the deagle chimes in for a second. Now things get interesting once more. 5-7. Lets some shots ring, but no real meaningful damage done. Drop will fall away. They're going to play the post plant. But DRG is hungry for more. Up top. Looking for it. He knows there's probably one towards sandbags. He's looking for it. Fakes the defuse. Double swing comes in. Good shot from drop. He spots the second as well. And the spray belabored, but still connecting in the end. 5-1. As you mentioned, expensive round for Made in Brazil, but they do at least win it in the end.
They do win it in the end, and that's what matters. Good bit of work from MIBR in the end, especially from drop to close it out. And we're back on the guns for Young Sharks. Money not fantastic for MIBR, considering they have lost 3 in both rounds, the last 2. But 5 already on the T side is good. It's just about growing that lead and getting stronger and stronger. Just trying to shut Young Sharks' chance of a comeback down to a bare minimum. There's always a chance until the final round is put on the board. But MIBR would love nothing more than a reverse sweep all the way through the lower bracket run. Spot. Challenger Jönköping. The North American counterpart for them was Nouns. We got to see them qualify with reverse sweeps only. Young Sharks would need one now if they want a chance at this one, and drop hits one. Doc takes it out safe. And togs unable to find anything at all. Do they expect rdnzao downstairs, though? Sonny seems to have already made contact with him, loses the fight, but he does a lot of damage. Drop, you got bomb, buddy. Don't bother with that.
Nate is sick.
That was perfect. Right off the backboard.
Popped right next to his noggin. Doc racing forward, spotted by exit in middle. Free kill, dead to rights. The last life is Gafolo. He's in towards CT. Might have been heard as well, as exit seems to be wise to it. Gafolo. Spray in, but no actual kills. Exit instead to connect the bullets required. 6-1, and the economy of Young Sharks again teetering. It's at the point where they could go for Famas's armor and utility, but in the same vein, they should probably go for a pistol armor buy instead. We are in tact pause territory. We should be seeing one eventually, hopefully. I don't think we saw one in the first map either, so I don't think they're inclined to talk things out.
Certainly not. They're just going to go through this one, put their head down and grind through it. As painful as it may be, Doc down to 19 HP with no contact in return. Far from an ideal start for Young Sharks in round number 8. 6-1 already the lead for MIBR. Doc, he's smoke BRN, that's a 3B. Spots out gafolo, sprays him down. 2 more in there. rdnzao's P250 will finish off BRN, but there's still more players around the A site. Togs up, and he's just been spotted exit. Saw the kneecap. I used to be an adventurer like you, and then I took an arrow to the knee, or maybe an AK bullet. We'll find out.
Hot lead instead. Lots of hot lead to the knee.
Well, I don't think bullets are technically lead anymore, especially at this point.
I think TQ is taking whatever they can get. Probably steel core. Safe and Insani. 1 and 2. Togs is the last, and as you mentioned, took an ambiguous metal to the knee. Togs 10 HP, MP9. His armor could be useful in the following, but what would be more useful? Rounds. They need rounds. 7-1 is the reality at this stage. Togs will bring an ineffectual SMG into the next round, and we do have another disconnect, Boggs. There's going to be another tech
Louise.
pause.
It's not gafolo this time.
It isn't. We have gafolo, togs, DRG, and rdnzao in the lobby.
Doc.
It's Doc is the one missing. Yep.
Wonder if Doc just restarted his game though, because he was dead.
That is true. Terrorists win. Could be the case, or it could be that Vertigo's the new nuke.
I hope not.
Oh, he's back. You're right.
Okay, yeah. He just restarted his game. Maybe things felt odd.
Tech pause. Maybe he's making sure that everything still feels okay. Everything's still hunky-dory.
Because I know I've done that a few times myself where my game just feels weird, so I die, I'll just restart.
Very quick tech pause. Thank goodness. Counting our lucky stars. Still have flashbacks to CSGO. Although I will say again, CS2 tech pauses are so much better.
They are so much quicker.
It's ridiculous how much quicker you can get it done. Even a
props
server
to
swap.
the coding team that put together the match medic that fast for CS2 as well.
Yeah. Next goal, I would say, coaching slot.
That should be happening yesterday, but
It should have been earlier.
it should have been done before they got rid of Go.
Rushing towards stairs, called out. Togs and rdnzao. Two unorthodox angles for two ready players. Sonny and BRN taken down. Maybe an adjustment at long last for Young Sharks. Maybe they can get a second on the board. We are at the Brazil scoreline box.
I was going to avoid mentioning it for the sake of our Brazilian friends and also out of respect for Neymar. But
it's true. But it's two Brazilian teams and it's the Brazilian squad. You have to mention it.
Yeah, but they've got enough going on right now. Neymar just had basically it's essentially a career-ending injury, so I feel pretty bad for. First of all, Neymar, one of the most skilled players ever, as far as Flair is concerned. It sucks to see him go out with that kind of an injury. We'll never see Neymar at his best anymore, which is very sad. How brilliant he was at his peak. rdnzao 1-for-1. Togs blinded. Still kicks out drop. Safe 1v4, none v4. Second on the board for Young Sharks. Does come at long last. They will get rid of the SMG too, and that's a big bonus. And gafolo has that op still in hand if he wants to use it. MIBR, of course, buying back up because of their success. And the E7-1 goes the way of the team at 1. The breadstick is no more, Nate.
I jinxed it. What? The economy of Mid-Brazil can still facilitate a buy here and now, and maybe even one of the following if required. Back towards A is the call for Mid-Brazil. Early utility. And early pressure. Inside hole, want to ramp before Young Sharks. Gafolo's here with an op as well, and BRN, that won't deter him. He'll find one. He'll tag Gafolo. That nade to finish him off. No, he's down to 11. Mid-Brazil don't want to force the issue either.
BRN up the elevator, up the ladder. Gonna make his way through. Still no end in sight yet for MIBR, though they're starting to work their way slowly up these stairs. It's a long road back up. I know it's only a stairwell, but it could take a while to get all the way to the top. Firefights and all that. Smoke's going out towards green. Flash is going in. Walls down. Molotov's clearing out the pillars. BRN coming in through middle. Exit there as well. Takes down rdnzao, the one lone defender of the B site. Fallen. A save from Young Sharks with their op and AK and M4. An eighth on the board for MIBR with 2 rounds to go. A 10-2 still possible. For Young Sharks, the best case at 8-4. I think it's safe to say it's dire straits.
It is. When both of your victories are isolated, Mid-Brazil can immediately clap back. An issue. Keeping alive 3 guns, though, is pretty important for their future aspirations. College isn't even going to pull the trigger in the last possible second. I respect that call. Gafolo catches BRN jumping. This hunt is costly, but if they even drop 1 from Mid-Brazil, it will be worth it. Again, the difference between 3 and 2 surviving is huge. Bam could almost catch Gafolo. He is lucky. And they do survive. despite the aggressive hunt from Made in Brazil. That will give them another investment. Maybe Brazil win this, 10 seems all the more likely.
Oh, yeah, it does. 10 would be almost a cakewalk. Not quite, because, I mean, max loss bonus are close to it. But it's not going to be a terribly difficult round for MIBR to win if they do wipe out Young Sharks here. Saved gun or 2 or 3. Make a big difference for Young Sharks' chances at a third. But they still have a chance to win this one. Still have to make it work, though. A ramp utility going to be thrown from both sides as MIBR start to work their way up towards Ivy. Drop holding for a peek, jumps up, continues on. Doc with the smoke in the hand. BRN there to swing as well. Do they double swing him or do they just single peek? It's just going to be drop, smoke down, nade out. That will do a good amount of damage. The spam does some more. Doc at 14 HP. And he's narrowly dodging bullets there.
I think he's behind the box. I was in no man's land, though. He needs to be careful. Let him by, DRG. Op is still here for gafolo. It is a swap for the low HP player. 55 seconds left. Made in Brazil have drawn a rotation. When does the lurk activate? And who is the lurk, might I add? Is there one? Or have they grouped up?
BRN's just...
Oh,
no, he's back ramp. He's up ramp, actually. No, it's farthest back player's exit.
We're all here. It's going to be a commitment then. Gafolo with that M4, dropping the op to his teammate. Get good for 1, but safe and exit. 2 in response. The player side haul the AUG. Nice transfer, but it can't finish the job. 3 versus 2 remains in the favor of Made in Brazil. And togs jumping up. Unable to find one over top. He is through the smoke cover, able to find one. Insani. Finally catching up with his teammate, though. Maintains that advantage. 10 seconds left. Plant has to be attempted. Where is the bomb? It is on exit's back now. We'll put it down. And rdnzao going to force the edge. It's being held. The stick. Exit can survive, and he will recover. I like the idea of rdnzao, but he doesn't swing as quickly as he could have. Potentially as he should have. Made in Brazil win a very tight-knit round, and seeing as it is the last of the half, their economy can be more than enough to coast to a full buy.
MP9 swapped over to DRG. Doc on the M4A1. Gafolo back on the op, but he hasn't really had much impact with it. Hasn't even been able to take too many shots with it, for that matter. The AKs of MIBR swarming and overwhelming him. Last round of the half. And either way you slice it, Young Sharks are under the gun. In comes Insani. rdnzao down the stairwell. Gafolo up top of the op. Do they flash in? They do. rdnzao. Gafolo. It's rdnzao to get the kills. Gafolo falls, but drop doubles it up. And that's the man advantage restored for MIBR. Togs is here. He's been pretty good on some of these anchor positions, but he's got to go Herculean here. He's got to do way more than could be realistically asked of. DRG, somewhat of a support, but long range with an MP9. Not ideal in this situation. MIBR pumping the brakes. They could also rotate back away. Maybe playing if there is a flank thrown in here from Young Sharks. They're biding their time. They still got plenty of utility to go for it, and 4 players to take the advantage. Either way they go, if there's a stack or not, there's going to be a man advantage for MIBR.
So will they molly back Girder, though? Togs is still here. Smokes the crossing the Molotov will go back site. And there's a second one. Okay, Togs is now forced into the open. 55 HP, he'll run forward. Flash. But they're not clearing him. He misses the spray. He does recover for one of these. That makes things slightly more doable. DRG, though, through the smoke, finds Italy squat. Doc, the last alive. He was holding A in case, hedging bets. 1 versus 3. It's impossible. He wants the first. He gets the first. Last round of the half. He has to go for it. 29 HP. Made in Brazil looking for double digits. They swing a double hold. Made in Brazil a dominant performance in this first half. More dominant than the last. We'll see if they can close it in 2 maps after the break.
clouds, I'm breathing a silhouette of meaning into my lungs, inhaling. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, 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 out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, 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 out. My eyes are closed, I'm feeling. I hear the silence speaking, and every nerve vibrating. And in the clouds, I'm reading a silhouette of meaning into my lungs, inhaling. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, 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 out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, 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 out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Made in Brazil. We said they had a dominant start on Nuke. It's even more so dominant here on Vertigo. 10-2 on their less favored side. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the microphone. Made in Brazil. 3 rounds to separate them from a spot at ESL Challenger Jönköping. Young Sharks, their backs are literally against the wall. This pistol round is do or die. They lose this, they likely lose the next. From there, it is series point for Made in Brazil. Double dualies for Made in Brazil as well. In this one, Insani and BRN. BRN's towards side hole Ivy. Insani is towards B. What is the play from Young Sharks? The P250 Super Soldier, 1 set of utility. Appears to be a walk towards middle. Safe is spotting, passive towards elevator. Minute 15 and no contact taken by the Sharks. They finally throw a smoke. They finally show their hand. What can Safe do on this niche angle?
He falls away, does some damage, but no real damage worth mentioning. He's just backing away, kiting, trying to stay alive as the sprint goes in towards the B site from Young Sharks. Bomb will be planted. A full 5v5 retake on the cards with no kit. MIBR probably going to surrender this pistol round to their opposition here, barring a miracle. Either way, the bomb is already planted. Togs up at the half wall. Doesn't even have to worry about Insani. His Doc's there to tap away. In comes the push. Doc with 3 on the P250. Looking for more from backside. It's going to be a Young Sharks round. Surely now with Doc on the prowl. Will make it quad kill. Looking for the ace. The P250 doing what it does best. Being incredibly accurate for the first kills when you're trying to get something nice. It just says, you know what, I'm done working. Gafolo to finish the job on the Safe. But I don't think Young Sharks mind who gets the kills. All that matters is they get the rounds on the board. And the pistol round was essential to them having a chance at this match.
It's the first of many things that need to go their way in this one if they want to survive and see Inferno. Well, the first hurdle surpassed. Next one ahead. 3 Galils, 2 AKs, not trifling with SMGs. You can't blame them. Make their bonus as scary as possible. Made in Brazil, despite their hefty advantage, will go for the calm and respectful call of the same. SP's over top of the smoke at a ramp. Looking to tap some heads, perhaps. And For one, double dinks away the first, almost the second. DRG though with the Galil is more than ready, and gafolo through the smoke. Drives safe. The last three all around the smoke. Double dink from exit, but DRG lines up two. DRG the third. Total of 4 in the round, and a fourth on the board. USPs from Made in Brazil, though, are looking quite scary.
I mean, MIBR have good aim. We know that for a fact. And a timeout is called here. It's a technical pause, an oops, a mech pause. Whatever you want to call it. It is not a tactical timeout. It is not for discussing adjustments. It's for fixing issues, which this Vertigo map has been plagued by, it seems. Now we'll see a buy-up from MIBR. M4s adorning the side. I don't believe Safe will have an op here. Not possible. Unless BRN wanted a glass cannon, and then they're not going to do that. They can stay on the rifles. They'll be fine.
No kit.
Mm-hmm. No helmet for exit, and he could buy a kit. And not a bad risk there.
One Galil that could one-shot, headshot Insani and drop. Lackluster utility from Made in Brazil, but I'm sure they have a zany strategy in mind. BRN's going to start with a nade, perhaps, towards ramp. It's better, but rdnzao dismantling 2 towards B. Sure, he's taking damage, but he's done more than enough. That's exit and Insani. Both silenced, both felled. But Young Sharks aren't going to race into the site. They're just going to run their default once more. Paranoid of a stack. BRN is in for a nasty surprise. That smoke fades at the wrong time. It's the setup for Made in Brazil. 2 towards B. Retaking. That's safe and drop. rdnzao begins to activate. Looks like a rotation back towards B might be in order. When rdnzao sees even one, they should double back, however. Step was definitely heard. Zill, the right read. Despite the disadvantage, might find success by virtue of this stack. Safe, close, first contact. Second will be the player back girder, and Safe expecting a flashbang, just turns away and gives away the frag. Drop now in the flames, only good for 1. BRN acts to do it all. He's found the first, he lines up 2 more. It's a 1 versus 1. He's made something out of nothing. 20 seconds left, and the ball's in Doc's court. He has to plant the bomb. 15 seconds remain, and BRN is repositioning.
He's already out to middle. He's going to go back up to jump. And he'll go. He'll spot the shadow, but he cannot get the kill. Doc will win it, but BRN made that round something from nothing. Only 5 rounds now, the deficit for Young Sharks to overcome. It will be a half buy from MIBR here on round 16, but Young Sharks are lucky to get out of that one with a round victory. They were so close to losing that. You can see the damage it's done to their economy. Not much left in the bank. The Deagles are out for MIBR. The P250 for Safe. They can still do some damage here. MIBR will have to make some adjustments when the guns come out the next round because Young Sharks look very well prepared for this on the T side. BRN with one, Dinsani with another. Deagle headshots coming through here for MIBR. Make it a third of the round, a single player taking down 3. Looking for more. Togs will bring it to a 2v3, 2v2. Safe, one of those players without a Deagle headshot is dropped. BRN down the ramp. Lots of damage, but not a kill. Togs saves the day, but expensive again. MIBR managing all this damage on the pistol rounds. Need to convert that to gun round victories. Honestly, I would not be mad if a timeout came through here from MIBR just because of the lack of success so far on the CT side.
I can see it, but at the same time, their last rifle buy was hamstrung with next to no utility. This time they have full utility, and they kept every round close. The economy from Young Sharks is actually kind of bad. They win this round, Young Sharks might be compelled into a save or a really shoddy investment. Made in Brazil have done well to at least keep this one heavily in their favor. Full M4s versus the AKs and the op. Gafolo bringing out the big green. BRN's gonna peek around the smoke or something. Good nade damage on a DRG and togs. Young Sharks are slowing things down, showing presence middle, showing presence A ramp, and looking for an opening.
There's one for BRN. Drop does some damage with the smoke on the Doc, who strolls on through and falls in the end. Last round of the magazine will drop Doc. And a 2 for none trade in the favor of MIBR. They are in a good spot now. rdnzao working his way up the stairwell. Togs in middle. The bomb grouping up with rdnzao in the back of gafolo on the op. No op to counter from MIBR. And Sonny goes down. Safe sprays a little too early. And Togs and rdnzao have found a headway in towards the A site. Income rotations. Gafolo gets tagged by the molly just a little bit. Togs under drop can do a lot of damage as the bomb goes down. They have to clear him out hard. And Togs will have help from guys like Gafolo. But Togs spammed by Safe. Good awareness. Gafolo up top. rdnzao spots the kill first and takes it away. Gafolo's op is known, however. BRN here up close and personal. Down to timing. Good shot from Gafolo. Good damage onto Safe. And a save call attempted for Safe. He'll be able to back away. He should be able to keep this M4 with the next round. But next gun round, surely timeout for MIBR because their CT side has gained absolutely zilch.
Gotten close, but hasn't gotten across the line. That's the critical factor. Young Sharks only trailing by 3 now. Safe might not even be safe at this stage. Give it the hunt from Gafolo. Nope. He will survive. His team probably going to half buy around him. Tactical timeout used. Maybe a force in that case. Still, Young Sharks doing very well to right the ship.
Calling the timeout here is a bit interesting to me because it's not going to be a full buy from MIBR. A half buy more likely. MP9, Deagles, the saved M4. 5-7 for exit. He elects to sell the hand cannon. What is the plan after the timeout, though? Because it's not going to be used into a full gun round, but also the lead has evaporated. It was an 8-round deficit. It's now just 3. 5 in a row for Young Sharks at the back of the pistol round. A storming response after halftime.
Sit on B stairs. Get a little bit aggressive down below. Maybe peek side hall on Ivy. I don't know.
They're peeking deep in A ramp from the looks of things here.
I could punish the up of Gafolo, I assume, but Eagles, we've seen them do tremendous work. Will the close play be Molotov? No, he'll be cleared instead, the old-fashioned way. And Sonny surely doesn't find anything here. He spots one, the flames. Smoke guys, Safe only good for 1, and Sonny does well to get 1 from the site, but now it's just Deagles to try and recover. 2 versus 3. Have some interesting spots. Have the weaponry. Just Sonny around the smoke. You can't find the one Deagon to another. It's an 8th for Young Sharks, but that was an expected 8th. Sounds like we might be having a little bit of a technical reset here for a couple seconds, ladies and gentlemen. So you'll have to bear with us for the foreseeable next couple seconds. But again, Young Sharks doing very well on this T side. Far better than I was expecting given the 10-2 result, and they are showing tremendous resilience mentally, Boggs.
Yeah, they did have a better record on T set at a 50% win rate, but this is far above that right now. Young Sharks are clawing back with everything they have, trying to send us to a third and final map as we hop back into things here. Just a quick little fix. 2 rounds now the lead for MIBR, and they do not have much wiggle room left. Safe versus Gafolo, op duel possible out towards middle. Safe could get overwhelmed here. Gafolo into the open, and he goes down. No flashbang. Missed second shot is a trade, and that gives some room over for Young Sharks. Safe needed more than that. And he only got the 1. MIBR need to wake up. They need to get their star players back on all cylinders. And Sonny and Safe, the 2 at the bottom, not where you want to see either of these 2 players.
No, and Sonny's the one you get activated, get fiery hot, multi-kills. Spearhead. I do like the change, though, for Made in Brazil. They put one down below, but they leave him on an island. It's too many players alone for Made in Brazil, and that's going to be their undoing. Doc, the one holding a ramp, but the one finding success. The group, the single group of Made in Brazil players all taken down. 4 survive for Young Sharks, and another tactical pause needs to be pulled at this point. Next rifle round. I like the idea. Go out on a limb, get a little bit aggressive. Push middle with an op. Push down B stairs. One of the two. Not both. And support. Put 2 there. You cannot put them on an island. You cannot at least put them there without utility support. Otherwise, they're just stuck, and if they get cleared, they're donezo. That was exactly what happened in that round, and it was a complete collapse from the Made in Brazil defense.
Yeah, the Made in Brazil defense has had nothing but collapses in this half. They've been losing gunfights, have been getting caught, the utility's been working well for Young Sharks. The overall defensive strategies for MIBR are very under par. If this was a par 4, MIBR is shooting like a 17 right now. They're shanking it off into the rough. They're not able to get the ball to fly straight in the air, and it's just a disaster class CT side from MIBR. Young Sharks at this point are on pace to completely sweep this T half and send us onto map 3.
I believe in them.
I do too.
My 2-0 caster's curse. Exit, getting a little bit audacious towards B. Togs respecting the possibility, as is rdnzao. I don't think we've seen a flank like that as of yet, however. They're very paranoid about it. They're very ready. Perhaps because it's a bit of a half buy that they know is a possibility. They're actually doubling back. In Brazil, depending on their setup, depending on if they're caught in rotation, this could be disastrous or it could be magnificent. rdnzao, the opener. And Sani could stab them in the back if timing's right. They're watching for him. Do they know? No is the answer. This could be something, but Safe has to buy time, as do his other teammates. And Sani slipped the gap. It's 1 for Safe. Sani. Oh, he misses the opportunity. DRG takes him down, and then Sani's having a terrible time. Can't get the ball rolling in any respect. Togs 1, Togs 2, gafolo 3. Tied ball game 10 apiece. 3 for either team. We'll get it across the line. We do have a bye, but again, that kind of engagement, those kinds of nerves betraying Insani are very worrying.
Yeah, he rushes the shots, shoots too late, too far behind, and MIBR getting crushed under the weight of the pressure. All they needed was 3 rounds. We've played 8, and every single round has gone the way of Young Sharks in this half. They've restored parity after a massive comeback, but it's not done just yet. They need 3 more. 11 in a row would take them to victory. MIBR yet to put anything back on the board on the defense.
So it's 10-2 half. It's 10-10 now. It's 8 in a row. Completely unanswered. Concerning. No op for Safe in this one either. Just the M4. It's the A1Ss. Smoke down ramp. When does BRN activate?
3, 2, 1.
Nope. Oh, nice try. There's a free kill on the dock, though. There's the flash. There's the peek. 1, 2, 3. Not quite, but I think they can trade. No, DRG doubles back. BRN and Safe getting too big for their britches. And Drop doesn't want to stick around long either. He'll fall back. Still about a minute left in the round. Plenty of time for Young Sharks to make up their minds. Brazil have rotated a second over towards A. In Brazil, if you want this map, you have to start now.
This is essentially where they have to win, because if they lose this, they're broken. It's 12-10 in favor of Young Sharks. Molotov to deny a plant front sight, and MIBR are just getting mowed down as Togs finds Insani through the smoke. Exit and Drop, no responses. Togs over top of the sight boxes. Eliminates Drop. Exit as the 1 in a 1v3. He roasts down to 56 HP. GG go next. We're going to Inferno. I'm going to say it here and now. MIBR have shown 0 on this map in the second half. And the Young Sharks are showing all the qualities that you want them to show. Drive, fire, desperation. They want this way more than MIBR do right now. They've just put MIBR in quite a pickle.
Terrorists win. They have been brined 11-10. Those of you keeping tally, 9 in a row for the Young Sharks. That Caster's curse is really coming to bite us, Bugs. Bite us, bite me. I'm the one who said it. I'll take full credit where it's due. Full rifles for Young Sharks, no questions there. Third timeout use for Made in Brazil. It looks like they're going to try to put their foot down here. But what's the adjustment? Again, get aggressive, but get aggressive as a pair at least. Send 3A, or maybe 2A, one spotting from elevator towards mid, 2B, and let the 2 towards B get aggressive on the stairwell. That is your adjustment. That's the only thing you can even try to do at this stage. Maybe something towards the middle if you want to do that. Send 1B, 2 mid. But change something up. Change anything up, please, Made in Brazil.
Oh, what is going to happen here for MIBR? It's a half buy again, the saved M4, a couple MP9s, a Deagle, a 5.7. BRN, drop, exit. They did so much in the first half, but there hasn't been enough from Safe and Insani. The kills that Insani has had have come in isolation and away from a win. I'm thinking of those 3 Deagle headshots he had a couple of rounds ago, a while now. Stuff like that, just, it looks cool, but at the grand scheme of things, it doesn't affect the match.
Nope. Get a little boost on B for the M4. Try to find something. It is a half buy, though. Safe, maybe play underneath the jump over. I can see that working. Yeah, this could work. There. MP9, good for 1 and a bit. Exit. No, Insani instead finding one. No trades as of yet. An exit, finding another. Finally something on the board. The off of gafolo is going to try to find inroads in response, and it will get a single kill. But it's still an advantage for Made in Brazil, one that they cannot afford to squander. DRG around the smoke trying to find something, but it's drop instead to get the drop on gafolo. Over towards the jump over. DRG, the last remaining. They know he's in this direction. And at this point, it's about doing damage. There's a world where he wins an exit, shoots him in the back. Made in Brazil, after a lengthy absence from the scoreboard, they were at last back on it. The question is, can they win 2 in a row? Can they limp to overtime at the least? Or will their victory here be isolated like the victories for Young Sharks in the first half?
At this point, MIBR have at least gotten this one over into at least one win on the CT side that may just break the curse, the snake bite that they had going on. Either way, that should give them some confidence. At least they can breathe again. Young Sharks may be feeling a little more pressure too, because now we're all tied at 11-11. Both of these two teams have a wish, and that is to make it to Jönköping. They have to claim it with both hands, not just one. MIBR had one hand on that spot on the plane tickets. Young Sharks have fought it back. Tug of war. The dying embers. Separated by nothing.
Sharks about a minute left. Beginning to congregate towards A. See this boost from BRN. We've seen it work before. I believe it worked for the Young Sharks. Will they expect it? Yes. Doc's going to clear it now. And up for BRN. Gets it, though. I like the crouch play. Don't be exposed at all times. Instead, just spot it. The timing does work in his favor. Young Sharks are going to continue forward, though. They know 2 are towards side hall. They want to disentrench this pair. The issue is rotations are already forthcoming. BRN into the smoke, find another before Togs can trade and drop towards side hall. Has support from Safe. One more secured for the offer on a rifle. DRG, sure he'll find the player side hall, but he has 20 seconds to plant in 3. Ready to rain down hellfire. The offer of gafolo covers enough for the plant. spam through, does damage to both parties. It is a 2 versus 2 as a retake is planned.
The op tucked in towards Sandbags. The rifle on 28 HP on the ramp, headshot angle. Hit for exit, tap the bomb, baits out a peek from the op. They know where Gafolo is, and do they have where DRG hides? Gafolo with the swing and pops off one. Exit, there's no time, he's done. It's going to be map point for Young Sharks, and Gafolo will make it so. They should escape the wrath of the bomb as well. What a turnaround for the Young Sharks. They have won 10 of 11 rounds in this half. And MIBR, they can buy, but it's going to be rough around the edges. Minimal utility on a couple of players. Safe will have a FAMAS or an MP9. MIBR had done everything right until the half swap. Even in that round, they've done so much. It just comes crashing down. A paper tiger. That first half. It's either overtime or Inferno to decide who goes to Jönköping.
I will say I like Safe's MP9 play. I think it was the last time we really got to see him grace the scoreboard. Found that 1.5 or thereabouts underneath the jump over. ERN drop both here. Jump throw of a flash. That nade is chunky at the very least. No, not as much as I would expect. ERN good for 1, but drop stuck on an island is immediately mollied to death. ERN try to buy time with the smoke, excuse me. Actually jumping up. I like this
play.
play.
I think he's trying to play around it.
I like that adjustment. But Young Sharks aren't biting. They've spit the hook. They're looking elsewhere. Or thinking about it at the very least.
You can really always tell how smart a fish is by how well it fights you. Ocean fish in particular, if they take it to the prop, they've been caught before and they know how to get out. Right now, Young Sharks, they spit the hook, they bit the line, they got it into the prop. They've got free for now. Smoke down on the site, still committing towards this A side. No time to rotate out either. BRN on top of the side box is falling away. Drops the bomb, needs more. Dodges the flashbang, safe upside home. Taken down, so is BRN. Bomb going down again. MIBR, they come so close, and when the going gets tough, they crumble like a shortbread cookie. Nice on to go follow, and RDN sprayed down by exit. We are going to overtime here on map number 2, the pick of MIBR. And I think it's safe to say winning one round on the CT side is imperative for both sides here. And it's MIBR who have to start on the defense.
We're going to have a tech pause, Bugs. But we are sticking around, ladies and gentlemen. Shouldn't be too long. We are missing one player from Made in Brazil. Unless the HUD is deceiving me. No, we are. Who are we missing, Bugs? You're always faster at this than I am. Is it exit? No, exit's here. Safe. We're missing safe. And with the overtime money as it is, Boggs, do we see safe bring out an op?
I would assume so, yes.
That could be an X factor, a big X factor. We didn't see it beyond like one round on the defense, and that was towards middle when it was alone on an island.
I would like to see an A-Ram play with the op here.
You and me both.
But he's got to get back into the server first. Gafolo goes for his, and he's been solid.
Yeah, he hasn't been taking over the server. But this is what made Young Sharks so fearsome yesterday. It's the fact that they are spread so evenly on the scoreboard. Sure, we have BRN dominating for Made in Brazil, top of the server at 22. But when there's a 5 kill discrepancy between the top and bottom on the Young Sharks side, it makes sense as to why they are going toe-to-toe. 19 for DRG, 14 for Gafolo, and everybody else spread in between. 17s for Togs and Doc, 18 for rdnzao. That is what's a thorn in the side of Made in Brazil. There are weaker links. The people who are having a difficult time on this map can be exploited because everybody on Young Sharks appears to be fragging at an acceptable level.
Yeah, MIBR have had some standout performances, particularly BRN, Drop, and Exit. Safe and Insani, very quiet on this map. Meanwhile, everybody on Young Sharks having a moment. Togs, DRG, Doc, Gafolo, RDN. When the moment is there, they rise to the occasion, and that is what is saving them here, too. It's what's got them all the way back in from down 10-2. That is a storyline we cannot forget. This was a 10-2 scoreline in the favor of MIBR going into the second half. It's the obvious now how this ended up, but no opt for safe here is a curious call. Molotov smokes, nades raining in spray. Does some damage onto DRG. Nade will do a little bit onto Doc as well. No picks yet, but a good amount of damage unconfirmed and otherwise. Now the kill for BRN.
Just be careful though, he's swapping to the USP. He's a little bit desperate, a little bit scared. They won't force the issue, Young Sharks, as we know. Perfectly content showing presence and falling back. They've done it time and time again. Spam next on the Gafolo this time around. DRG and Gafolo are both wounded. In Brazil, their spam actually having some good effect this time around.
Very slow midpoint to the round. Gafolo leading the charge up. Boost is here for BRN. He's done this before. Do they clear him? Togs walking up. He's ready for it. He's on the angle, but he will not go that far yet. Now he goes in. BRN. Peekaboo! Togs isn't watching anymore. And that's why you don't peek the whole time, fellas.
Timing immaculate for BRN. Double advantage secured. Gafolo, though, we've seen him bailed him out before. His op has a knack for hitting at critical junctures. And BRN burning out. A drop looking to fill the gap. Finds the first. Despite the low HP, he still sticks around as well. Gafolo trying to support with the op. There's so many players. It's just impossible. Too many, in fact. Is dropping safe. Find the final pair. 13-12, you mentioned one on the CT side would do it. Made in Brazil at their very first attempt. Find one.
If they get two, I think it's going to start to really become improbable for Young Sharks to make the work happen on the second half of OT1. I think that Young Sharks need both these next two rounds here. Og out for exit. It does warm my heart to see the AUG getting so much use in CSGO, at least in South America.
So good up close.
Oh yeah, the one-shot headshot's great.
Playing it at Woodwall on B sounds like a really fun play.
Exit's playing farther back on B, but he's still on the right side for that, if he wants to go there later.
Yaron has 3 gimmicky plays or thereabouts. The boost over, his back corner, and 1 or 2 others. He's tagged through the girder down to 21. Gafolo calls him out. 58 seconds left, and Young Sharks, they do well to control the pace and prevent any pushes from coming. Somewhere they are moving over towards B. Sani, again, a slow map 2. Looking to right his wrongs here on B.
"34 seconds. They need to make a play. It's going to have to be a fast and furious rush somewhere or other. Doc has cleared out A, though. Doc has found the site open. And that is going to signal a rotation. But look at BRN and Drop here. Flash in for Drop.
Corner, though.
He's here, but this position from Doc, so powerful.
It's ahead of it.
That's a good Molotov. Drop's to wins that fight.
That's consequential. That's huge. He won't get away. The 4 versus 4 secured. And no smokes either for the crossing. Means that they can get picked apart. Safe finds a second. DRG has to fight his way out of the site, and he can only find one. Gafolo trades it. At least keeps it even, but...
Togs.
Flanking in. Are they exposed? The first one is. Safe comes off of it. If he stuck it, he might have found it.
He would have had
He
it.
does not find anything else. Gafolo towards side hall. Finds the kill. Young Sharks tie it up as we enter the final round of this first half of overtime. Togs, as we always talk about, the magic number is the default ending score of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It is 16. Made in Brazil win this one. They'll need 2 more in the second half. If Young Sharks win this one, it will be the very same for them.
We will have a 2-1 half for OT1, regardless of who wins this one. Op is back for gafolo. Safe will not get the op. Whether it could have been dropped or not is inconsequential at this point. He is not going for the big green gun, interestingly enough, and nsani is starting to fall behind, lagging back at only 10 kills still in round number 27. rdnzao and gafolo going up towards B. The op looking to charge. Exit shown, but nsani takes down the op. That is huge. Gafolo's been great for getting openings here for Young Sharks, and he's no longer going to have the impact on the round. Wild spray from Exit does a lot of damage to do, but he cannot find the kill. Safe comes in and does mop up one. Molotov onto site, still has the HE in hand. Abandonment of the A side again, and might be our gamble rotation. Drop should probably go back to A, because look who's lurking about. None other than Togs. DRG also picking up the bomb, and they're going to go mid off of this. I like this call a lot.
It's a big adjustment. They haven't really walked mid. Especially not with the bomb at this kind of juncture. 45 seconds left of mid to be split seems to be the play. Burns in stuck between 2 separate angles. He's walking down. He might get caught in rotation. Shadow should betray them, sure. There it is. But can he win the fights? He gets one, about 2. And that might be what's required. Safe. Totally unexpected in CT spawn. Drops the bomb. That's a big one to find. And Doc's steps thundering forward should be heard. Try to smoke off Safe. An attempt to jump up. The issue is drop is also here. Bomb recovered. 15 seconds left. Safe will push the smoke. Try to stop the play. He doesn't make the player come off. Good flash and Safe secures it. Well played from the duo of Safe and Drop. 14-13. They're the team advantaged. And Made in Brazil looking to right what was a disastrous second half with a victory in overtime. They need 2 of the 3 rounds in this second half to secure this series in a 2-0 fashion and book their tickets, might I add, to Sweden.
2 of 3 on the T side would be pretty probable if they can continue their trend from the first half, but that is so long ago. Have they forgotten their successes on the first half? Certain players cooling off perhaps could cause a problem as well. rdnzao, Molly forward, and nsani should have heard that. He's not going to force the issue, and wisely so. gafolo on the op has taken a little bit of nade damage and backs away, but is still going to aggress again towards the ramp. Smoke goes away, and that is exactly what PRN needed for an opening kill. Safe helps out as Doc goes 1 for 1. 2 for 1 overall on the A ramp scrim. MIBR with a man advantage, and the bomb is nowhere near the site. They can bring it back wherever they want to go. Alert towards B, maybe up towards mid. rdnzao still on the B stairs, undiscovered by nsani. But B is now the ending point for MIBR, and Young Sharks are in a 1-1-1. Gaps all over the place. 1 kill! That's all they need. nsani with the opener. Bomb can go down, but Togs is on a fast rotation. MIBR going to be too late to the side before Togs can get here.
But they have utility for an execute. There's still plenty of time to slowly tease control of the side away from the CTs. Togs looking for it is blind. He's done. Good utility from Made in Brazil on this T side. That, I think, is what was missing from their CT endeavors. DRG, the last alive, has to kind of go for it at this stage. Over the top of Boost when it tries darndest. He'll find one, but take damage for it. Johnny will just fall back, think better of it. Make DRG, excuse me, come to you. Exit as well. An insurance policy on the flank. At this point, it's a formality. It's going to be 15 for Made in Brazil, all but certainly at this stage.
They will finally get match point here. After so long of having a lead, losing that, and having to battle back from behind. MIBR come alive in OT. Are 1 round away from booking a spot at ESL Challenger Jönköping. Joining Nouns as the America's representatives. Young Sharks, their buy will be sans the op. The Yogg is there for Togs. gafolo full utility on the A1S. No A4s for Young Sharks, interestingly enough. I've not seen them use that, actually, as a matter of fact, throughout the course of this game.
I don't think we saw any yesterday either. Might still be A1S enjoyers, which is fair. Everyone can have an opinion. And it also makes sense on this map because of the smoke spam, but we're getting into minutia. Good nade onto BRN. Turn jumping almost had the time, just a little bit too late. We'll fall back. Up over the smoke for the duels. DRG. Drop. That's a good start for Young Sharks as they try to weather the storm. They try to get to a second set of overtimes. They want to continue to push their luck over towards the EA ramp.
MIBR have stalled out. It seems like they're taking a long rest out in A main. Unfortunately, they're following Comrade safe with the spray onto Doc and binds with BRN. Brings it to a 4v4. A little more winnable now. Nade into side hall doesn't do any damage as safe will creep on up. Smoke will be dropped by gafolo. We'll play around that. Nade does not do as much damage as I would have thought. Counter from BRN. That actually could do a lot on the gafolo, but it's just going to be a right-click. Nades looking to blow the smoke away. They know gafolo's here now. They're going to push on in. One for him. He does damage on the safe as well. No return fire from MIBR. DRG up close as Togs support. Hog up high. Exit and safe, though. Open up the site. 2v2. 15 seconds to get the bomb down or get the kills. Gafolo still on Ivy. They know where he is. Nice tag from RDN onto both players. Bomb plant here, but can't stay full on the impossible. Spots the one up top, and he gets the kill. 9 rounds in the magazine. Gafolo has a one-shot against him. Safe hits the one tap, and MIBR have qualified for ESL Challenger Jönköping.
And perhaps one of the most unlikely ways possible as well. Safe, the opper on a rifle, 4 HP, has to stick the bomb, and still finds them both.